who is your hero?
Hero. I mean, besides Christ, obviously,
Right.
I would say, I mean, heroes that are alive right now. It's like some of my mentors, Randall Terry, Jeff White, my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. The girl who is has been arrested tons of times for saving babies. Joan Andrews Bell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are some of my earthly heroes, people that are risking decades in federal prison for standing upon the reality that unborn children are human beings and they deserve dignity and protection. And they risk their lives, risk their lives for them. I guess those are some of my earthly heroes. Historically, man, that's a good question. C.S. Lewis, some of my influencers like would be guys like R.J. Rushdoony, Greg Bonson. These are some people that come to mind off the top of my head.
Well, you just mentioned, you know, those. I'm blanking on what kind of how we're calling them, but those individuals that were peacefully protesting, I think even silently protesting at some point, and then they were indicted under Joe Biden's FACE law, that federal law about obstructing a woman's right to access an abortion clinic. Horrifying. I think one of them was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison for this. Is it Joanne?
She hasn't been sentenced to that yet. They're sentencing, but they're all facing like 11 years in prison.
And you guys, when you went to Vegas and you were trying to raise money for a woman that was considering an abortion, with the Spider-Man, I forgot his name.
Mason.
Yes. And you guys were just arrested also yourselves. When things like this happen, does this ever, I mean, that's scary. 12 years, 11 years in a federal prison for silently protesting. Is this
for
a discussion?
Peaceful, nonviolent protest.
100%. Is this a conversation that people are having in the pro-life, anti-murder movement?
Well, it's unprecedented what they're doing because, you know, so the FACE Act, which for people who don't understand, like FACE or don't know, it stands for Freedom to Access Clinic Entrances. So it's the only type of non-violent type of trespass which will make you a felon. So you know, you can block, you can refuse to leave and block the door of a UPS or something like that, or like a grocery store, and you know, you get a slap on the wrist and a day in jail. But if you do that instead of at a grocery store or a convenience store, you do that at an abortion clinic, you can face up to 11 years in federal prison just for doing the same thing. So the FACE Act carries with it a 1-year sentence, but they're using federal conspiracy statutes attached to it, which were originally designed for the KKK. And it's unprecedented. The Biden administration is the first administration to ever use this conspiracy statute against a peaceful, nonviolent person. And so it's just crazy. I mean, one of the ladies that got charged with this FACE violation is like a 90-year-old Holocaust survivor. Her name is Eva Edel. She's also a total hero too. But these people are just, they're actually putting faith to practice. They're actually acting like what they say abortion is really what it is. Like if abortion is truly murder, in fact, you're truly killing a human being, like we should act like it. And so they're laying down their lives and their freedom for these and peacefully putting themselves in front of people that would kill these babies. So it's very, very commendable.
I absolutely, and it's horrifying. I know that Joe and Kamala have made it their platform essentially to murder babies. So
yeah,
they're obviously putting their money where their mouth is, and even if they lost the Dobbs decision or they lost the Supreme Court, this is a workaround. So it's very important. I know we have lost, a lot of people have lost faith in the elections, but this is why things like this are really, really important. Going and voting in person is extremely important. Before you go, two things.
yeah.
One, I want to just do a quick game that we call Patriot. It's kind of seems silly in the context of this interview or episode because we've talked about some pretty heavy things. But
yeah, totally.
Before we do that,
I'm ready for it.
But I do want to know. Yeah, we'll end it with that. Actually, that's a good call.